Hello and welcome r/AskReddit by Reddit Reader. The question in this video is, food delivery drivers. What is the strangest delivery instructions request you actually did for the customer? Before we start, please like and subscribe to help this channel grow. I used to deliver for this Japanese restaurant when I was in college, and one day I got a request to pick up a 30 rack of PBR for an extra $10. They already had a pretty big order, close to $100, and it would work well for me because I could pick it up at this gas station that sold beer and fill my tank at the same time. After a bit of a debate about whether or not it was worth it, I decided what the hell. If they try not to pay me, I could just keep the beer. I was gonna buy more beer at some point soon anyway. I get to the place and it's a few bros who apparently had been drinking all day and were all too drunk to drive but wanted more beer. So they took a shot asking me before having to walk somewhere. Ended up getting like $30 total, which was one of the best tips I ever got as a driver. Not a bad tip at all. Drunk people seem to either tip nothing or very good. Doesn't seem like there is much in between. So about 6 months ago, I was working as a driver delivering cookies around town. This is a college town, so most of our customers would be college kids that were drunk high and wanted some late night cookies. Anyway, one night I got a delivery with instructions to yell, "I have some cookies for a Mr. Fatus here," outside the door. Working nights can be pretty boring, so I did it to spice up my shift a little. Turns out some guys had ordered some cookies for their roommate and they all thought it was hilarious. I ended up getting quite a good tip for doing it, so it was worth it. That sounds like the dream for 99% of delivery drivers with the amount of bullshit you have to deal with. Largest order I ever had from a fairly expensive restaurant. $30 for an entree. 11 bags. Had to make 3 trips for it all. Get the address and it's across town. Literally an hour drive due to traffic. It was during rush hour, but since I get paid by the mile, duck me, it's only like $10. Whatever, I accepted the job. I get there and there are detailed instructions on how this is for the celebration of the sale of X, the customer's startup company, and to bring the food inside, and to place it inside catering dishes, the big metal ones with sterno heaters underneath, and to let the host know when all the food was put in the containers. They even had labels for where everything went and placemats with the guests' names on them, and in the instructions included what everyone ordered. Honestly, I expected a big tip because this is way out of what I've ever experienced doing UberEats. After apparently becoming a part-time caterer, I put all the food in the designated spots. I went out back to where these newly rich folk were celebrating, popping bottles of champagne and lighting cigars. I asked for X, the host, and let them know that everything is all set up. Her response okay, then turns around and goes back to the parties. LOL. Not only did I not get a tip, I didn't even get a thank you. Put the pizzas on our shiny silver serving pans before putting them in the boxes. Brought the pizzas into the customer's dining room. Took them out of the boxes, and set them on the table with all their fancy dishes. Stood with the family and sang happy birthday as a confused guy was led in, blindfolded. It was a surprise party. Got a good tip when I went back to retrieve the pans later. That's definitely different, but seems to be a great story for you and the family for years to come. Exact words, yeet it into the damn house, I did it. Why else would they make pizzas frisbee shaped? The mental image is perfect. I see some college kid just full sending an extra large with extra pepperoni through the window, breaking it. When I delivered pizza, I had one where the customer wanted me to shout Marco at the door like we were playing Marco Polo, but she was at the store when I got there, so I was screaming Marco at the door like an idiot for 5 minutes before she drove up in her car and apologized for not being home. The store she was at was just down the road, so she figured she had time to run there and back before I got there. When I was working at a pizza place years ago, we had a guy who lived in one of the senior citizen facilities ask us to call him before we left the store with his order. We figured it was so he would know we were on his way and could come down to the lobby and not have to wait. In all truth, he asked if the driver would stop at the ABC liquor store on his way, pick up a fifth of scotch and 2 Swisher Sweet cigars, then swing by another senior facility that was on the way to pick up his lady friend. The driver did it. Got an extra $50. This sounds like a scene in either a great or terrible Adam Sandler movie. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Reddit content.